I think we're live. I hope we are as we get moving here. We got to offer everyone my condolences, for the rest of your teams that did not make any NFL trades today or at least make an attempt to. Yes, my Vikings definitely made a trade as I check my volume here, or at least make an attempt to. Yes, I think we're good to go. So yes, we're going to kind of wait a second here as we get rolling for the trades that went on today. Man, what a day. Like, it's just, you go home and you come home to this. There's just so much going on. Make sure you guys leave that like and that follow down below. Leave us a comment. And if you're so inclined, if you guys love the production, please leave maybe a little something down into the giving portion as well. If you're willing, if not, we understand, but we'd greatly appreciate it. Support the Sports Breed podcast or, whatever you want to do there. So yes, a lot of different things going on for the NFL trade deadline today as we will bring you the latest, and like I said, if you just look at what this particular, the entire scope of what the trade deadline encapsulates is just, another day in paradise, and definitely another thing that kind of goes into this. So yes, we ask that you continue to give your patience as we get rolling here, and we let some people kind of come into this one too. So let's see here. Yes, my Vikings made a move for TJ Hawkinson. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm just so excited. Like, they actually did something. I was so grateful, very grateful that my Vikings were able to do something. So let's see here. Cool. I think we're making moves here, making headway. Excuse me. Well, if you guys heard, what was your favorite move on the day as we get rolling here? Because I felt like there were so many moves that I was not only puzzled, I wasn't even really puzzled at any of the moves. I was more pleased. We'll go with pleased. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, that's good. Like I said, let us know what you guys thought was the most interesting trade out of all of these, because there was 100 of them. There was just top to bottom a ton of these trades that made you go, wow, just wow. Apologize. Okay, let's go.
If you watch football on TV,
Nope, none of that. Thank you. Yes, the ads on YouTube. We got to pay for this thing somehow, so we greatly appreciate all the support you guys have given us. So as we get here, okay, I think we're good to go. We're going to stop messing around. Okay, so today was the NFL trade deadline, and I got to admit, there was so many different things that went on with all of the different teams, including my own Vikings and my Raiders. They didn't really do anything, but here it is from the very own. Well, not our very own. It is what it is. But USA Today coming out with kind of a recap of just kind of went on. And I got to be real, I thought this one was very interesting. So it started off, well, it didn't start off with this. Technically, did it start off with, was it the Christian McCaffrey trade? Doesn't matter. Anyway, so the Falcons get help on defense right before the trade deadline. The Falcons got cornerback Rashad Fenton in a trade with the Kansas City Chiefs for conditional 7th round pick. Per multiple reports, good for the Falcons. They get a little bit of help. Let's see here. Dean Marlowe going off to the Bills. I believe that was for a 7th rounder. Great job. They get a safety. The Colts send Nyheim Hines to the Bills. So just before the deadline, the Colts, they traded Nyheim Hines over to the Bills. And you know what? I think it's going to be interesting. So the Zach Moss, I believe Zach Moss was included on the trade. So Zach Moss goes from Buffalo to Indianapolis, as well as a conditional 6th round pick in 2023 that goes over to the Colts. So that's interesting. You kind of trade out running backs there. Nyheim Hines, I think he's going to bring just another element to this Bills offense. I mean, it's the rich get richer. Is that probably the best way to put that? But I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. But so Nyheim Hines goes to the Bills there. Then you got the Broncos. They get Jacob Martin from the Jets. So they'll get Jacob Martin. Let's see here. Who was just first year with the Jets, according to NFL Network. Began his career in Seattle. Blah 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 blah. So Denver sends a 4th round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft in exchange for Martin and a 5th round pick. By the way, Martin has 8 tackles and 1.5 sacks this season. So the Broncos, and we'll talk about the Bradley Chubb trade in just a second. So, like, the Broncos are either saying, okay, we are not fully in on this season, or they just, want to kind of build for next year, which I can see both. Let's see here. So the Dolphins swing deal for Jeff Wilson Jr. Now, I mean, after the Christian McCaffrey trade, this kind of makes a little bit of sense. Like, they've got some dudes on this team that can carry the football. There's no doubt about that. So the Dolphins, let's see here. Miami added Jeff Wilson from the San Francisco 49ers. According to ESPN, the Niners acquired Christian McCaffrey on October 20th and received a 5th-round pick from Miami in exchange for Wilson. So, it is kind of one of those things where it's interesting because the Dolphins, taking a guy like Jeff Wilson, with what is it, Coach Daniel and everything, and he obviously Wilson was a part of that running game that just always found a way to get it done. Also, Calvin Ridley goes to the Jaguars, so obviously he was suspended all of this season, for gambling, and we're not going to go into it, but so. In a year from now, basically, he has the ability to be the number one wide receiving threat for the Jaguars. You absolutely love to see it. So let's see. Ian Rappaport, the Falcons are trading wide receiver Calvin Ridley to the Jaguars. Sources say in exchange for a complex draft compensation that can be worth at maximum a 2023 fifth rounder and 2024 second rounder. Ridley is suspended through at least the 2022 season. So Rappaport saying there are conditions attached to this trade for Calvin Ridley. If he gets reinstated by a date, it's worth a 2023 fifth. Otherwise, it's 4th to 6th. If he makes a team in 2024, it's at least a 4th. If he hits playtime milestone, it's a 3rd. If Jacksonville gets a long-term deal done, it is a 2. Okay, anyway. So, yes, it is definitely interesting there. Calvin Ridley, a stud on the outside, definitely one of those guys that will immediately bring something different to that Jaguars offense. You got to be really excited for a guy like Trevor Lawrence in that trade. You love to see it, and he's getting another guy that can be able to help him out. And then we go over to Bradley Chubb here, who got shipped from the Broncos all the way over to the Dolphins. And it's just that defense, we've already talked about it, is very underrated. And the fact that they got him, it's not fair. It's absolutely not fair, but it is what it is. So Bradley Chubb, obviously, yes, subject to trade rumors, blah, 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 blah. The Dolphins sent a package that includes a 2023 first-round pick and a 2024 fourth-rounder to Denver for Chubb, and a 2025 fifth-round pick, the teams announced. So, yes, the Dolphins are ranking at the bottom of the NFL in sacks, but the acquisition of Chubb strengthens the team pass rushing attack. Chubb has 5.5 sacks this year, blah, 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 blah. You love to see it. So, yes, Chubb going to the Miami Dolphins. I've already said that Chubb is the Miami Dolphins, quite frankly, have one of the most underrated defenses in the entire NFL. Yes, I know that they have had a little bit of trouble in certain regards, but they're still their defense, Christian Wilkins and all them, Javon Holland, Xavier Howard, all those guys, yes, they are all studs. They all deserve their own respect in their own regard. So you love to see it. Yes, also William Jackson, the third, going from the Steelers to the Commanders there. Obviously not that much, in terms of compensation. I believe it was a 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So it was, I believe the Commanders were going to cut him anyway. So he heads from Washington to Pittsburgh there, And then perhaps one of the bigger trades of today, the Steelers trade Chase Claypool to the Bears. Let's see here. So the Bears will get Chase Claypool, and second year, let's see here, blah, 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 blah. So let's see here. I can't believe that, honestly. So dealing him to Chicago for a 2023 second-round pick. So, I mean, a second-round pick for Chase Claypool straight up, I don't think it's bad. I think that, honestly, the Bears added another great pass catcher. If Claypool can go ahead and cash in on some of this potential, he could be something special. Plus, obviously, the Steelers are going to be kind of in a rebuild. I'm really interested to see what they do with that quarterback position, and setting a guy like Claypool, who has been kind of a disappointment, not even really a disappointment. It's really been about the fact that, this year there's been some maturity things going on. He's actually a very talented player. He could be something special down the line. And then possibly my favorite bit of trade news this entire day was TJ Hawkinson getting traded from the Detroit Lions all the way to the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, yes, and yes. So the Vikings, they get Hawkinson as well. I believe it was a fourth-round pick in the 2023 NFL draft, and also a conditional fourth-round pick in the 2024 NFL draft. And the Lions get a second-round pick in the 2023 NFL draft and a third-round pick in 2024. So really, the Vikings didn't give up a lot to get one of the at least a top 10 tight end, a top 10 tight end in the NFL, and they get Hawkinson. Basically, like I said, it wasn't a lot. You give up a second and a third, you get Hawkinson and potentially 2 fourths. So that's absolutely, in my mind, easily a steal. And again, Hawkinson is one of those guys like, okay, Irv Smith Jr. went down. We're going to actually go into more of this trade a little bit and kind of see what it means. But you got to be really excited about what this trade does mean for the Vikings. And I do think that, honestly, the Lions are, I don't want to say necessarily in a rebuild, but they are looking better and better, under Dan Campbell. I know they're 1-6, but I do think that they are going to continue to challenge NFL teams. And I think that once they kind of figure out, the rest of this thing moving forward, I think they could be dangerous. But you gotta love it for the Vikings getting T.J. Hawkinson, and overall, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they do use him. And because yes, Irv Smith Jr. It's frustrating, but overall, you do see him going out there and finally. I don't want to say that it has been a failure, but with his time in Minnesota, but it's tough. Dealt with a lot of injuries and finally getting, being put on the IR this year, and T.J. Hawkinson finally getting a chance to potentially be with a quarterback and a system that could really help him. So, but let us know what you guys think. What was the craziest trade that you saw from today's deadline? It was kind of bonkers. I'm not going to lie to you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. But let us know what you guys think about the crazy NFL trade deadline today. And let us know what you guys thought was the craziest, whatever you want to say. Like I said, give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And give us your overall reaction for the NFL trade deadline.